We heard passionate pleas from Georgia Congressman John Lewis as he demanded action from his fellow representatives. Last week, he and other Democrats spent more than 24 hours on Capitol Hill fighting for a vote on gun control.
Well, now Representative Lewis is back in Atlanta, and he's talking about the protest as well as his plans for the future. Fox 5's Deidra Dukes spoke with him today, and Deidra, he's saying the fight is not over.
That's right. Congressman Lewis says he and his Democratic colleagues, including Representative Hank Johnson of DeKalb County, are fighting to change some gun law provisions, and that last week's sit-in was the first round in the battle over proposed gun control legislation.
There comes a time when you have to find a way to dramatize an issue, to make it real. And that's what we were doing in Washington a few days ago.
Okay,
and it's not, that struggle is not over. It's an ongoing effort.
Congressman John Lewis reflected on last week's protests during a public appearance in Atlanta on Monday. House Democrats staged a 26-hour sit-in on the House floor in a failed effort to try to force a vote on controversial gun control measures in the wake of the deadly mass shooting in Orlando.
This is not the end. This is just a down payment until we get to Congress to bring forth a major piece of legislation to end the proliferation of guns in our country.
Democrats are pushing legislation that would require expanded background checks and to block sales to people on the government's no-fly list. The protests followed live worldwide via social media after Republicans ordered House cameras off. They evoked comparisons to the congressman's early days as a young civil rights leader, staging protests and sit-ins in the fight against racial injustice.
Sometime, as I've said before, you have to find a way to get in the way, or make a way out of no way, and get in what I call good trouble, necessary trouble, to highlight the position.
The congressman responded to critics, including House Speaker Paul Ryan, who called the House sit-in little more than a publicity stunt.
It reminded me of another period. We heard Southern governors like Lester Maddox and George Wallace saying that the sit-in, the Freedom Ride, the March from Selma was a political stunt.
And while he didn't want to detail what House Democrats might have planned next, Congressman Lewis did say they're ready to wage the next round in the ongoing fight when the House reconvenes after the July 4th recess.
Symbolic, but still highly political in this case.
Certainly so.
All right. Deidra, thanks.
I look forward to seeing the next move.